Hello, ladies and gents and non-binary friends. So we have a new deck tech this week. I've got a Rolant Scream deck. So if you saw mine from last week, I got a little bit down the rabbit hole of Rolant's Memorial, and I kept on trying out a bunch of other decks. You can kind of see some failed ones here and there. I think this one I might go back to, but I just kept wanting to come back to more things with Rolant's Memorial, and eventually I did. So here we have Scream, but we've added in, we kind of mashed two different decks together. I took a little bit of the Rolant's Memorial deck that we had last time. We've got some revenge units, like we have Stonepowder Alchemist in this. So that's really cool with Rolant's Memorial. We have the Dark Return. We have like some different things like that. We have Slays and Annihilates, that style of thing. But the other ways, we're trying to trigger our Rolant's Memorial in a very different way than last time. So last time we were doing things like Devour or just attacking into our opponent and forcing them to block. This time it's going to be all about just discarding the card. Because if you look at Rolant's Memorial, at the end of your turn if a unit went to your void, it doesn't say went to your void from play, it just has to be discarded. So we've actually done a few different ways to actually discard it. I was like, well, if I'm going to discard, I should probably put in Nocturnal Observer. Well, if I'm putting in Nocturnal Observer, I should definitely have Gorgon Fanatic. And this deck just kind of kept coming together. So the idea of it is for us to kind of have a Scream deck, if you've ever seen the hero Scream decks that have run around, but to add in, instead of, say, something like Honor the Fallen, which is hard to set up, we've put in Rolant's Memorial. And I would have said before that Rolant's Memorial was also really hard to set up, but I don't think it's too bad in this deck. We have the Nocturnal Observers and the Herald songs to discard our cards. We also have Haunting Scream, which sacrifices the unit at the end of the turn, so you can trigger Memorial. And you can also have Gorgon Fanatic, triggers Memorial, right? Because when it hits, then it dies, and then you immediately get the Memorial, so that's pretty sweet. Sorry, Haunting Scream doesn't trigger a Memorial unless it's on a Fanatic. That's what I'm thinking of. Haunting Scream is much like Piercing Grief last time. At the end of turn is actually too late for this to happen. This will have already checked to see if anything's died, and you won't be able to do any of the +1/+1s after Haunting Scream creatures have died. Unless, of course, it's Gorgon Fanatic, because when it hits, then it gets to just be sacrificed. And we have, like I said, Hero of the People, which grabs things from, like, Aegis from our Genève merchant, which is why I did this merchant. Any one of the merchants could have been useful in different ways. I found that Genève actually was harder to build a market for, but I really wanted the Aegis. So we've got that for Hero of the People, and then of course our regular like Lifesteal Revenge for it, and that also works out really, really well with the Lifesteal on getting pumps from Rolant's Memorial and just dying and coming back. Things like that. Like Revenge is just kind of nice, the Memorial in general. We've got Rindra the Duskblade, which is obviously a fantastic Haunting Scream target and really, really nice to have with our Hero of the People as well. And yeah, we're just kind of slamming these two decks together. I've really enjoyed it so far. I already made a 17/17 Rindra off of Rolant's Memorials, so I'm ready to rock it and see how far we can go. Oh, real quickly, we've got in the market, we have Feeding Time, Gorgon Fanatic, Rindra's Choice, and Haunting Scream. So the big ones are Scream and Fanatic to try and get like the different combos going. And then I decided that I wanted Feeding Time just as like some silence effects against some really nasty creatures. And something like, for example, a Sandstorm Titan, because we have to get rid of that. And Rindra's Choice, because it's nice to have, like, there's some things like Icaria's running around. We've got Annihilates, but we might want some ones that also kill some dual color cards too, right? It's going to be tough for us to beat a Icaria anyways, but it's still nice to have it. Ryzen's another thing. There's a bunch of cards like that you want to be able to kill. In any case, let's get going, and a big shout out, of course, as usual, to all the subs and patrons, and to inkgaming.com for helping me put this together. Let's go in and do some matches.